I mean, look, I think playing for your country first and foremost is still, the pinnacle. That's still what you want to do. You still want to honour the badge, and playing for the Three Lions is what we kind of grow up wanting to do and learn to try and do. And once you get there, it's very easy to try and take it for granted. But actually, playing for your country is the first and foremost at the front of your mind. But these franchise tournaments obviously have grown over the last however many years, and that you play in some exciting tournaments against some exciting players, in front of exciting crowds, which as a player, as I mentioned before, is what you want to do. You want to play in front of packed stadiums against the world's best and test yourself. And we can't deny either as well, franchise tournaments, financially it can be very rewarding. So, definitely, the franchise game has changed kind of the landscape of world cricket. But still, I think you'd ask 99% of players, still playing for your country is the thing that kind of fills you with most pride and most passion. So, playing for England for me is still very much at the front, at the front of my mind to be able to try and play for England as long as possible. The change came back end of 2015. After the 2015 World Cup, we were, felt that we were miles behind some of the teams playing in that tournament. Obviously we got knocked out in the group stage. It was very much a low for England's sort of white ball cricket. And Owen Morgan and Trevor Bayliss and Andrew Strauss kind of sat down and kind of had a vision as to where the team needs to move forward and try and get to a stage where they can compete again. And obviously Owen Morgan was instrumental in that as captain, leading from the front. And basically the change was to be a little bit more fearless, play a brand of cricket where we kind of test the limits, see where our ceiling is, see how high we can get, how aggressive we can be with the bat in particular. And from a bowling point of view as well, it was kind of, let's not be conservative, let's try and take wickets, let's try and be aggressive, try and take the attacking option. And I think that change in 2015-16 was the big sort of learning curve as to how we wanted to play our cricket moving forward. And as I said, that journey through 2019, we kind of won a lot of games, and we had some bumps in the road as well. We kind of, had some games where we got it wrong and was bowled out very cheaply, and didn't bowl too well as well at the same time. So I think those learning curves were good along the journey where we didn't play so well as well. But it was all about kind of creating a group of players, not just the 11 or 15 in squads. It was kind of to create almost more players outside of that if there was injuries or loss of form, guys could come in and do the same sort of job. And I think that kind of was a big knock-on effect to the rest of the county game back in England, so that guys went and played the same way. So that if we were to call on other players, they would step in and do the same job. And that was a big change. And obviously Owen Morgan, and I have to give credit to the batters in general, really, the way they went about it, because they changed the mindset of the team, and that kind of had a knock-on effect to us as bowlers as well. No, I think everyone was open to the change. I think there wasn't any resistance at all. I think naturally, you kind of in your mind, you think whether would it be possible to play this way, and whether it could be sustainable. Obviously, I suppose you have those thoughts, but at the same time, no, there's definitely no resistance. The guys were clear that there needed to be a change. We had full backing in the captain, Owen Morgan, who was obviously very well respected, and his voice was very strong within the dressing room to say this is the way we play. I think the important thing, the messaging from above, from the coaching staff and management, was also that you kind of would get opportunities to play and longer time in the team, because things can not necessarily always go smoothly when you're trying to play like that. So guys were given a little bit longer from a selection point of view, which I think helped, because if you were kind of playing that way, and form could easily dip and kind of get better and get worse through that period, it's easy to think from a selection point of view you're going to get dropped. So to have that consistency in selection where they were going to back guys for longer was really important in kind of moving the team forward in that sense. Yeah, I mean, firstly, it's a privilege to be back in Pakistan. I've never toured here in my career. I think it was 2005 the England team were last here. I remember watching many games, England versus Pakistan in Pakistan, when I was growing up. As I said, I think I watched so much Test cricket when I was a child. England playing in Pakistan was always a highlight of that. It was always entertaining cricket, fast bowlers, good batsmen, entertaining games. So to be kind of back in Pakistan, or be on the first tour back to Pakistan as an Englishman, and an England team is really exciting. As I say, it's a bit of a privilege to be back here, and you know, Pakistanis are, you know, so passionate about their cricket.
England versus Pakistan, UK se PK. Book your tickets now.